for more with Maya. Dare to be more.
Hello and welcome to the Made for More show. My name is Maya and I am your host. My goal is to help you clarify your vision for life, understand why you're on earth, help you develop those areas of giftings, abilities and talents, and help you deploy them to make an impact on planet Earth. You were sent here for a reason. You're not an accident. There is a purpose for your existence. Each week, I'm going to take you on a journey, an inspiring journey, a motivational journey, a journey that helps you see through the lives of others who are walking this path. Men and women from different walks of life, races, ethnicity, who have embraced the call to be more, who are stepping into life courageously and living their dreams. And that is my dream for you. You are made for more. Hello and welcome to another episode of the program Made for More with Maya. I'm glad you joined us today. As usual, on the show we try to guide you on a journey of self-discovery, personal development, and leading you to deploy your unique potentials. We continue our season on showcasing people in different fields of career who have come to understand career as a platform for impact and unleashing their unique potentials. They've also seen career as a platform for maximizing impact, influence, and income. Welcome once again.
Made for more with Maya.
Today I have an amazing guest who is a story of passion. He'll be sharing with us his unique journey. He's got 25 years of experience in the world of film. He's worked with global brands like Aljazeera, CNN, Disney, and all Paramount Pictures, all the big brands you can think about. He's trained over 3,000 people in the world of film, and he's got more than 50 global accolades for his work in film. Join me as I welcome Dr. TJ Seaman. Welcome.
Thank you.
Great. So, you are the face behind the brand Cineculture. What's that brand about?
Cineculture is a filmmaking company. We started in 1999, and then we were just producing documentaries. And then later on, we started making short films, and we went into feature films and started working internationally by 2003, 2004. We also have a training arm because I feel that until every filmmaker in Nigeria and in Africa understands the landscape, understands the job, the pockets of filmmakers that we have that know this work will not be able to feed the international community with the kind of content that we're looking for. So we started training male and female filmmakers, including secondary school girls. And up till date, we have like over 3,000 trainees so far. Yeah, so that's what Cineculture is about.
Okay, great. So I'm fascinated that you have a PhD in cinematography.
Yeah.
So how did you get into did film find you? Did you find film? How did you start the journey?
Well, it started with passion, actually. My journey was, it started with a kind of sorrow. Let me use that word because it was a burial. It was during a burial. I think I was 15 or 16. And my father had a camcorder, and he was so busy, and he wanted somebody to hold it. And he refused to give me the camcorder because he felt I wasn't going to do anything about it. I was going to maybe just play around with it. But during the burial, I collected it. He said, keep it. And I kept on looking at it, and it looked at me, I looked at it, So I picked it up and started filming. after everything was done, he was looking for the camcorder, and I told him it was with me. And when they viewed the footage, they were astonished. Let me use that word. So since then, um, the passion just grew. And when I was a lot younger, maybe around 6, 7, I'm 8.5 years older than my younger one. So I spent a lot of time alone. So most times I used to have films, I used to make films in my head. And my mom is a very lazy woman. So she says, hey, you need to cook. So I pause the film in my head, go and cook, and then come back and continue where I stopped. So for me, I felt that was a superpower because I didn't know I didn't know how I did it. Okay, so that coupled with the camcorder made my passion really grow into something that it's life for me. And so I found film, and film found me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you study? What was your first and second degrees?
My first degree is business administration, but my second degree is film.
Interesting.
Yes, when I studied business administration, then in school, we had this very, very large choir. We were like 500. And I felt, okay, instead of just singing and doing all of these things, let's also capture, the concert in itself. So I started looking for people renting the cameras and then getting that on tape. So after getting that on tape, the passion grew some more, and then I said, okay, why am I studying business administration? I mean, back then, a lot of people just wanted to do an MBA. Everybody wanted to do an MBA, so I decided to do a master's in film, and from there, I did a PhD.
So how did this was some years back, right?
Yeah.
The master's level.
Yeah.
How did family, friends react to the decision to take film as a course of study? I mean, MBA, like you said, was prestigious.
Yeah.
So you do a first degree, okay, you probably go to an MBA. So how did
Yeah.
they react to that switch?
Well, back then filmmaking was not popular. Everybody, like I said, wanted to do an MBA, and people, most especially friends, were actually laughing. Oh, TJ is now carrying a camera. Because then when you're carrying a camera, you're like, there's a name they either call you a photographer, or the video man, that kind of a thing. So everybody was like, oh, he's carrying a camera, camera. Meanwhile, we're in the office, we're bank managers, and we're this and that. And it wasn't taken really well, but for focus, because I decided to say, okay, look, I am going to focus on this. This is what I want to do. As at that time, content creation was not popular as well. So nobody wanted to even associate with me. So I was doing weddings, namings for free because I wanted to understand the job. And I will not lie to you, focus is something that has galvanized my work. It has changed the way I work because since then I've not done any other thing. Even I've got people that have brought contracts, feeding contracts, 100 million, 200 million, and I tell them no. As at the last administration, I was called from the National Assembly. It said, hey, we've given you a Director General position. Come and we will, so that the National Assembly will interview you. And I said, sorry, I won't. Then my friends and my family, including my in-laws, everybody was like, hey man, just go. You can do this. But I said, no, I decided to focus because I think that's one of the issues we have, not just in this job, but in this country. It is something that we refuse to focus on abundance and focus on what we lack. That was the first That was the first temptation even in the Bible. Yes,
Nice.
it was the first temptation in the Bible. It says, hey, you've got all of this, but there's one tree, just one. So you have to pass the mango tree, the apple tree, but there's just one tree in the middle of all of those trees that you should not eat of. And Eve decided, hey, let me leave focusing on abundance and focus on what I lack. So I decided to say, okay, see, this is what I can do very well. Let me focus on that. And that kept me grounded. Yeah.
Made for more with Maya.
Now, good. What was your first break? What was the first job you did that you actually paid for in this industry?
Wow. It was a long time ago, but I would say the first job I did that I was actually paid for, that kind of made me feel I was doing yeah. It was with a German firm. The German firm said they had come to Nigeria and they had gone through, I think, 10 different people that would film for them, and the Nigerians were disappointing them. And I said, okay, I was going to do this thing for you for free. If you like it, you pay. If you don't, just take it and go. And when we did it, he sent it to his people in Germany, and they were like, hey, call this man in, let's have a 5-year contract. And he paid me for 3 years at once. Yes. Yeah, it was big.
So you ran to tell everybody, can you see?
Yeah, really, because I mean, each event was running to between 2 and 3 million, and they were doing this every month. Yeah, so that was huge for me. Yeah.
Now, my next, how did they find you? Because the people who have lots of good work. I mean, you've done work with global brands,
yeah,
international brands.
Yeah.
So how did they get to find you?
Let me not be like some people and say, oh, it's God, But the thing is, keeping it real. I want to keep it real. When you do your work and put it on your websites, when you do your work and you have mixers with other filmmakers here online. I mostly work again from New York, because there I find out that a lot of people in Hollywood live in New York. So when there are mixers for filmmakers and you attend such mixers, you find out that one way or the other you get to know them. There's this peculiar story. When I started working with Paramount Pictures, it was 3 a.m. in the morning, and I saw an email from Paramount Pictures. Now, I didn't know Paramount Pictures. I didn't know anybody that knew somebody in Paramount Pictures. And when I saw the mail, at first I thought it was a scam, because I woke up my wife and I was like, hey, these guys can't just send me an email. They want me to start work with them just like that. No, so she was like, why not answer and see, and I was like, okay, I'll answer and see. And from there, within 2 days, we had 600 emails back and forth.
What year was it?
That was, I think, 2015, 16. Yes, we had 600 emails back and forth. And from there, I started working with them, and I became somebody that they were going to use both here and in Africa. And that grew a lot more when they said, hey, we want you to be in Hollywood. Can you come to Hollywood and do this? They've got people in Hollywood, but they want a Nigerian to come to Hollywood. So that kind of connection, that I would say is godly, because she just said, the person that picked me, when I met with her for the first time last month. Yes. After how many years? 7 years or so. So I told her I was going to be in Hollywood, and she said we needed to meet. And when we met, she said, thank God for the day I found you. I just Googled and your name came up first. Your company came up first, and that was it. So sometimes it's not just it's also serendipity that works in people's lives, because you might just find out that if you've got your house in order, you have made sure that you've got your websites, you've got your social media. And this is where I think I have to talk to a lot of people, because they have to start using their social media properly. When you say, hey, I'm making egusi soup, and you post it on social media, it doesn't have any impact. But when Kim Kardashian does that, it has impact, because that's what she does. Okay? That's what she does. You are not her. You are trying to use your social media for professional purposes, to get people to get to know what you do. For them, being an influencer is their lives. That's what they do. So they can sit down, I'm cutting my nails, and 1 million people will like it. For you, you post it. When somebody looks at your social media, he now sees the kind of person you are. He starts wondering, what does this person do? This person is not serious. Today, when people are asking for CVs, they ask for your social media as well. So what you posted 5 years ago can stop a job for you 10 years later. So we need to start posting things that matter on social media, or else people will use that social media status to grade you and really not know the kind of potential you have. So that's why I keep away from politics on social media. I keep away, because everything is, I string it around my work. So that has helped me to grow. And a lot of people just see social media and say, hey, I want to work with you. I want to do this with you. In fact, I've gotten more jobs from social media than from physical contacts. So you have these people that come give you their cards, but on social media, they just tell you, this is what we want to do. We're shooting in Venezuela, we're shooting in Switzerland, and we want you to shoot from Nigeria. That was how I did a Coke advert here. They just said, we've seen your work on social media. We want you to work with 5 other directors. And I never met the directors. We never had a meeting, so everybody just worked based on a brief from social media. Yeah, thank you.
That's a deep lesson there. Your social media defines you. That's, we live in a global world. So before people get to reach out, they want to know a bit about, even for, what do you call it now? Invitations to the embassy.
Yeah.
All of that. They ask first. I know the US embassy does that. They ask for social media because they want to see, don't have an idea of your personality. So we need to begin to work on that.
Yeah.
Now, next question. You've worked for several global brands, right?
Yeah.
Which of those projects would you say has been the most challenging? Which one really stretched you beyond your regular capacity?
Yeah, I think.
Tell us about one.
I will just say my first one. My first one was with CBS.
Okay.
And Johnny Just Come kind of thing. Who I was called, they got this first class ticket and everything, and my head was just, I would go and yeah, that kind of a thing. And when we went there for the production, it was I was supposed to light a place. Now I saw a truck outside, and I thought, let me just get 10 lights. 10 lights will do. And I packed 10 lights, and I did it, and it didn't work. I added 10 more. I added 30 more. That was 50, and it didn't work. And they said, it's not light. The light is not enough, and I was like, those are all the lights. And they said, you saw the truck outside? I said, yes, I saw one truck outside. And they said, one truck? And I was like, yes, one truck. And the director was like, he called the equipment master, and he was like, how can we have just one truck outside? And the guy was furious with me. He said, one truck, please, let's go. And we went outside, and he told me to just do this. And I did that, and there were 7 other trucks filled with equipment. So for me, that was a strong lesson, because when you see some of those trucks filled with equipment and some just lying there, maybe when they're showing behind the scenes, it just don't just think that they're keeping those equipments for show, or they just want to show you they have equipment. No, they want to make sure that whatever you need is in there. I felt very embarrassed that day, because it was sort of a huge budget production, and that was my first time. But after then, I now understood, okay, there are multiple trucks, and even if they're not there, you can always call for them. So, but that was my most challenging, because I had set the whole production back 45 minutes. And the way they work there is not the way we work here. That, somebody would just tell, oh, sorry, I'm late. I'm sorry, I'm late. No, everything is on schedule, So, and that has affected the way I work here as well. For that German firm, for all of their productions, they do productions from 8 p.m. to maybe 10, 11 in the evenings. So we get there 6 a.m. in the morning. And the hotels are wondering why. It's not even, it's not 12. Why are you here 6? We get there 6 so we can troubleshoot and do everything we need to do. And even order for a thing from Lagos if we need to do that. So that has affected the way I work here.
Made for more with Maya.
Wait, from that experience, I thought maybe you should just speak to someone who maybe just had a bad day.
Yeah.
Who's struggling in their journey, had a setback, and maybe just thinking of giving up. That was a very challenging moment for you and embarrassed, and I could imagine how you felt.
Yeah.
But looking back, you've gone way, way, way and had greater moments. So what would you say to that person who is on this career path?
Yeah.
And maybe just had a bad day? What would you say to that person?
Well, the thing is, when you think you fail, you actually haven't failed, you have learned. So, and in this career path, you have to keep on failing and failing and failing to understand the kind of filmmaker you are. The truth is, it's only in Nigeria and in Africa that we glorify a mistake because we spent a lot of time making it.
Resources.
Yeah. So most times, I made this film because I spent 1 billion naira, for example, making this film. It must be good, even when people say it's not good. So you have to understand that there are times that you might just lose completely, but you have not lost, you have learned. So what I will tell such people is, you have to be consistent. When you lose, still dust yourself up and do it again. I did not spend 25 years doing this by, starting and then stopping. No, you have to be consistent. If you are not consistent, you will find out that because this world runs very fast, you'll find out that the world has gone ahead of you and you are trying to catch up. Because you find out that there are a lot of people, the place is saturated. Today, everybody wants to be a filmmaker. Everybody, a computer person will tell you, hey, I'm a content creator, I'm a filmmaker, I made this, I made that, Yes, but, I always liken it to, being maybe, let's say, in a theater, everybody is there. What you have to understand is that people are not trying to get into that theater. No, people are trying to get your seat in that theater. So you have to understand that, one, you have to grow, you have to be consistent, you have to make sure that you learn, relearn, and unlearn. Most times in my classes, when you come, I will tell you, pack all you've learned and put it in a Ghana must go and keep it outside so that you can learn new stuff. Today we've got filmmakers that have their films maybe on Netflix and they feel, okay, because we managed to have our films on Netflix, we know everything. No, you can't know everything. I was in Hollywood just 3 weeks ago and I met a screenwriter and the guy just messed up everything I had known about screenwriting because he taught me a different kind of screenwriting direction. Now that is the kind of life I'm talking about. They say when you stop learning, you die. So please don't stop learning. Keep on pushing. Even if it doesn't work, it's actually working.
Deep lessons. Who was one of the major influences on your career journey?
Hmm.
2, 3, 4?
Yeah, no, I would say it's just two.
Great.
And it started from Martin Scorsese when he released The Godfather. Now, that has taught me so many lessons in filmmaking and also in life as well. Because today you find out Godfather is still referenced, whether in film school or in theaters, is still referenced because of the kind of work he put into it. And then Quentin Tarantino as well. You know, I've watched the way he decided that the way Hollywood was cut and dry, he was going to make his own different. So he changed the way Hollywood looked at him and decided to bring in his own type of filmmaking. And he made people see his angle and they accepted it. And lastly, let me just say Steven Spielberg is somebody that I respect a lot because, you see, like in Nigeria, we rush to make films because you want to sell. Spielberg has had a career since the 1970s. And up till date, he's produced and directed only about 100 films. Now, a young director here in Nigeria will tell you he has done 500 films. I've seen, you know, but the thing is, even in film, there is film. And that's why you can remember a film by Spielberg like Jaws about the shark, you know, you remember it, and you don't remember a film made by a Nigerian. That's why many people would decide to say, oh, let me rewatch this film. I've watched it 7 times. Like The Woman King, for example. I've watched that film, I think more than 9 times, you know. But I will not watch a Nigerian film again. In fact, I rarely do because of the quality. So you find people celebrating The Godfather 50 years later. They're telling you, oh, we're having this gathering 50 years later because of the quality of the film, because of what the film represents. But when you do this rush work, you find out that it does not stand the test of time at all. So really, it's better to sit down and do one film. I've seen Nigerians rent a place and 3 different sets are using it. So at the end of the day, after 2 hours, I will leave. Then another person will come and do. And then, you know, and I've seen an actor that is on 3 sets at the same time. So please, yeah, I have. Because one of the sets was in my office. It wasn't, somebody rented my office and he was like, oh, please, can you help me? I was like, yeah. So he did and quickly went to the other set and quickly came back. And I was like, how do you know who you're acting in all these different sets? So we need to raise that standard of quality. When I started, I was using a Pentium 2 computer. Now a Pentium 2 computer is so slow that I will render 3 minutes of footage for 3 days. Yes. So I got really frustrated, and you have to put it upside down so that, you know, because of the heat and stuff like that. And I remember telling my wife that because I got frustrated one day, after the second day, into the third day, the computer shut off. So I had to start it all over again. And I told my wife, I said, you see, I cannot do HD anymore. I mean, Nigerians are doing it. Let's do standard definition. And just do. And she said, boy, if you want to do this job, continue with doing high definition or just leave it alone. Leave the job alone. So since then, the quality that, you know, I painstakingly did, it has helped me grow a portfolio that has, you know, introduced me and brought international audience to me. Yeah.
Talking about recognitions globally, you have more than 50 accolades to your name.
Yeah.
How did it feel? Maybe talk about the first one, the last one. How did it feel being recognized? I mean, taking your mind back to your journey, how you began.
Yeah.
And now the accolades are coming. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels really surreal sometimes because the thing with winning awards and stuff like that, they don't come in the first 2, 3, 4, 5 years of
Even longer.
yes, or even longer, and each day I keep on telling myself, hey, Coca-Cola started and sold only 1 bottle in the first year. Up till now, it was just a few years ago, that Facebook broke even. So for 7 years, they didn't make any profit. So, I keep on telling myself those kinds of things. And, when the first one came, it was like, are you really, somebody should pinch me, that kind of a thing. Yes, because it was all the way in Belarus. I didn't even know a country like Belarus existed. So when they said, hey, you won an award in Belarus and your film won an award in Belarus, I was like, okay, where is that? And the rest kept on coming in quick succession because all of a sudden the roots were deep. I had done my work. So people that feel, oh, hello, I've paid my dues. You've not paid any dues. You just do your work the way it's supposed to be. You will find out that growth comes in without stress. The problem we have is that people want to jump. When you jump up, you come down. When you grow up, you stay there and keep on growing. So that's the thing that has helped me. And really, like when I hear there's an award somewhere, it doesn't fascinate me anymore. All I want to do is, okay, I need to do more. I want to do more so that those people will actually know that there is somebody like this in Africa that can do this, despite not having the kind of equipment or the kind of support that, because there in Hollywood, you want to buy a camera, they will tell you, oh, hey, there's financing for this. For the next 5 years, we're paying for this at 0 interest.
It's an enabling environment.
Exactly. Here, you have to buy your camera at full price. There, they say, okay, hey, you want to rent? We sell cameras. You can rent from us. Here, if you don't buy every equipment, you'll be put to shame. Yes. Here, when you buy stuff, the custom duties you have to pay can buy you another equipment. So you have to painstakingly do all of that. But despite that, thrive.
We'll take a quick break here. We'll return shortly.
Made for more with Maya.
Welcome back. I'd like to know, you train a lot of filmmakers, budding filmmakers. What skills or what traits do you look for in a person, or does a person exhibit that makes you know that this person has potential to succeed in this industry? Passion. Lots of people have.
Yeah.
You need more than passion.
Yeah.
I heard from your story.
Yeah, passion is not enough. Yes, passion is not enough. Most times, I think the first one for me, you would not believe it, but it's character. I equate skill with character, because when you have that character, you will find out that you are ready to be patient, you are ready to be humble. Yeah, because I've seen a lot of filmmakers who are not teachable. Just because you picked 1, 2 things from the street does not mean you will use that same skill in the palace. It won't work. So I equate character with skill, because sometimes a lot of 2 years ago, we went into universities and picked young filmmakers or young people that didn't have any filmmaking skills. We picked them, we trained them, they made films, and they won 31 awards internationally.
Wow.
Yes. So it's possible. So most times it's not about what level, It's about your character. What do you want to do? Until people understand that, now in Nigeria we have, we don't, we want to eat our own fruit. I've never seen a tree that eats its own fruit. You do that for other people, but I mean, you have filmmakers that want to hammer now. So they don't delay any gratification. We want it now. Everybody wants my name to be out there. And that's why a lot of times, I think you will comb through a lot of Nollywood productions and you will never see my name there. Not because I don't want to be part of Nollywood, but the truth is, I don't want to be part of something that only starts so that my name will get out there and then fizzles out within a year. I want you to look at our entertainment scene, both film, music. So this banging film comes out, and in 3 months, everybody hears it and it's yay, yay, yay. And after that, in 3 months, it's gone. You don't hear it again. And the same person is trying to make another new one. Meanwhile, our music is the same thing, So meanwhile, we have people that are still talking about, listening to Michael Jackson's songs even after his death, Bob Marley's songs after his death. What did those people do? Somebody like Phil Collins, he did his last concert, I think 4 months ago because he's ill now. But somebody like Phil Collins stopped singing a long time ago. But he has been closing out concerts using his old songs. Tracy Chapman does not release any new album anymore, but she has been doing concerts using her old. So we have to understand that level you want to get to, you have to start not small. I don't have a problem with starting small, but remaining small is where I have that issue. You have to scale almost immediately. And how do you scale quickly? Character. Because there are points that character will take you into a room that your money cannot get you into. I have seen that a lot. When I was in the US, I had never, my wife and I, we had never gotten the kind of honor we got in our lives like last month. Last month, we were in the US to meet with some directors. And you see directors with white hair picking us up from the airport, carrying our bags. We always had the notion, because we had seen it. I mean, white people don't like spending money. They'll say, let's go to dinner. Meanwhile, you pay for your own dinner. But I mean, we had 7 people fighting to pay. In fact, one of them took us out for dinner and he went there earlier, paid the money so that we don't pay. So for me, that is honor. So somebody said, okay, come, sit down. Can you watch my film for 1 hour and critique it? And we did that. And after that critiquing, a woman just came, please, can you sign here? And I was like, okay, we're signing. What are we signing for? We're giving you $5,000 for your time. And I was like, do you understand? So for me, it's because of character. Many of them want us to play, but I make sure that I still respect them because they've gone ahead of me. The truth is, I think it's an African thing and particularly a Nigerian thing. When you see somebody that has gone ahead of you or has known something that you don't know, please sustain the discernment to honor that person.
Honor. Very vital currency.
Yes, because we are very good in saying, is it not filmmaking? I'm also a filmmaker now. That's not it. Where that person's legs have entered, you've not been there. So why don't you honor him so that you can also be there? So, and that's why we don't have successful mentorships in Nigeria. We don't. So somebody starts with you 2 months. He goes and starts his own agency because he feels We can rub shoulders. In fact, Oga was not doing the work. It's me he used to pass it to. So I can do it. You don't know that he taught you all you know, not all he knows. So we have to have that character. For me is number one. When you have character, then passion can follow. And that's why every day I keep on saying, you don't even start business with money. It's not money. It's not passion. Have character. And you'll find out that all these things will be added. Yeah.
You've explained character in a very interesting way as it relates to work, and so many deep lessons. You talked about criticisms. I think that's one area that lots of people are very. It's easy to get very defensive.
Yeah.
For your kind of creative work.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that? How would you advise someone to do? Because I mean, you put in so much work. I mean, you're happy with yourself.
Yeah.
Somebody just comes about. I know that criticism should be constructive too.
Yeah.
It should be a way to correct in love and all of that. But how have you dealt with criticisms to your work over the years?
Oh wow, it's I'm somebody that I take them very, very well, and all you need to do is just show me something once that this was a mistake, and you won't see it again. Because you see, you can't grow if all you are is in your own world. Your own world is pretty small. But when you have people that, you know, will talk to you, will tell you constructively, not like there are the levels of criticisms we have in Nigeria is beef. Yeah, it's beef. So, and we've even taken it a step further. I'm Yoruba, you are not Yoruba. So I will critique or give a thumbs up to a Yoruba filmmaker. And because you are not Yoruba, you know, that kind of a thing. So we do that a lot. So that kind of criticism is not even criticism at all. Yes. But the truth is, if you hear constructive criticism, you know. Film is visual art. You show it. It's either you hit it or you miss it. So when somebody tells you, hey, I've spent ₦1 billion on this film, you should be able to see it. That's the truth. So many of these people out there, Hollywood productions, once you see they don't need to tell you how much they spent on the film. You will see the money. Just from the opening scene.
Speaks.
Yes, you see the money. You know, so what has helped me is, okay, will this help me?
Okay.
If it won't help me, throw it out. Because there are times that the criticisms may also come because people don't understand the kind of filmmaker you are. Or you are still finding your niche to create, you know, the kind of film. So what I do is, will this help me on my journey? Nigerians, we have an issue of, okay, jumping the journey and going to the destinations, you know, because that's what we want. When we go to school, we are not interested in the school, we're interested in the certificates. When I train people, some of them will come and say, okay, when are we getting certificates? And I'm like, okay, you've not gotten this yet. Okay, so let's get interested in the journey. Will it help me on my journey? If it won't help me, I'm not going to take it. The person I respect most after my wife is my grandma. She's late now, but if she tells me, hey, this is a hole, jump into it, I'm going to do it. But there are so many times that I ask myself, will it help me on my journey? And when it's a no, it's a huge no. Because I can remember when, before, when we got married, she was like, I need to see a grandchild before, you know, I die. I need to see a grandchild before. And I asked myself that question, will it help me on my journey? And it was no. And I told her no. Okay. And she actually died without seeing my child. But that's the thing. It's not about, you know, you. It's about your journey, not the destination.
Interesting. Now, you know, hearing you speak, and I know I've seen a lot of some of the things you do, you're very passionate about the next generation and giving back. You do a lot of work with girls, with undergraduate students. What fuels that passion for that people group?
I think it's my wife, because because, you know, girls are like, they are people, they say adolescent girls are like a missing population. They are there, but you don't seem to understand that they're there and they are useful. So sometimes, you just have that propensity to jump them, But with her really pointing them out to me, and I see the passion, I see the growth in them. For example, we trained a couple of girls. This were adolescent girls. They were between 15 and 19. And one of them said, "You know what, sir? I'm going to my village. I'm going to tell my father to buy," it's an Igbo girl, "I'm going to tell my father to buy me a camera, buy me a computer, and I'm going to train women and girls there." Amazing. That blew my mind. A guy doesn't think like that.
Money.
Yes, it's money, But, that kind of a thing of expanding the knowledge, expanding that knowledge is something that, drove me to start giving the next generation. And I found out that the next generation, they want kia money, Yes, that kind of a thing. They want kia money and without work. And really, when you look at Greece, when you look at Rome, that's one of the reasons they crumbled, wanting money without commensurate work. So, if we want Nigeria to stand, we need to start combating that as fast as possible. So that's one of the reasons why I give knowledge like that. Because, when you see people hungry for it, right now, that's the end thing. Right now, Hollywood, everybody is turning towards Africa. And why are they turning towards Africa? They're turning towards Africa because Africa has something to give. If we do not train this next generation, we will go back to colonialism, because that's what they did. They saw that Africa had something to give, but the people didn't know the value of what they had. So they came, said, "Okay, I'll give you mirror. Give me 7 gold bars. Or I'll give you mirror. Give me 20 of your people." That kind of a thing. So now we're training people to know what they have, to understand how this works, so that you can get a seat at that table. And at the end of the day, like I always say, if they are not giving you a seat, you create your own table. Make them come and sit down on your own table. So that's the passion that drove me to, training young men and women in this craft. And lastly, it's because I want them to I need people to be able to work with. Because one of my staff woke me up one of these days, and I asked him, I said, "You need to do this. Why don't you do this?" He said, "Oh, guy, you didn't teach me." So that was a wake-up call for me. I was like, okay, so let's teach, so that we'll have more people to stop this garbage that we're releasing out to the public and say it is Nollywood. Yeah.
From work to family to life to character. We had character over and over and over today. But that's what the show is about, getting to pull out real life experiences from real life people who have made their mark in their respective fields, who come to see their fields as a calling, as a mandate, as passion, and through their fields impacting society, making good income, and having great influence. But the bottom line is to inspire you to find your journey, discover your potential, discover what you were born to do, because nobody was sent on earth without an assignment. And our goal on the show, my goal, is to see you become the best version of yourself. The show is called The Made for Motion, and that's because I believe there is more to you. And so today, before we let Dr. TJ Seaman go, any final words?
Yeah, I think you said it all. You said it all.
Well, let's hear your voice.
just discover you. Just make sure everybody had a dream or has a dream. When since you've been young, there's something you've been having burning in your bones. Make sure you bring it out, or else you will never ever discover the best version of you. And also know your competition, because for me, I don't compete here. I look for competition out there something that is above my league. And that stretches me for the real me to come out. So make the real you come out.
Great words. Make the real you come out. And I think one thing I learned from his story was that he always aspires to grow. Leaders, if you have to lead, you have to learn to keep growing. There's someone doing better than you, but who knows what you think, what you are doing better. So look for that person, get to learn, sit on the mat, find a way to refill in that field, because there's always room for growth. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the program Made for More with Maya, and see you same time next week.
Dare to be more.